My name is Dakota Flint. Yeah, like the stone. I'm 47, a structural engineer, recently divorced, holding my life together with a 2008 Silverado that drinks a quart of oil every month like it's Gatorade. But there's one thing about me that actually matters. I'm the sole heir to 47 acres of Colorado land, worth about $4.2 million, passed down from my grandfather, dense pine, untouched hills, and a view so clean it makes you believe in good things again. He bought it in 1971, paid $8,200 cash, and kept every receipt tucked neatly inside a leather ledger he maintained for half a century. When he died in 2019, I found a note hidden inside the deed folder. Don't let the bastards take what's yours. For 3 years, I didn't visit the property divorce hearings. 2 kids needing tuition, 70-hour work weeks. Life buried me. But one thing I never missed: property taxes, $6,400 due every April. Every payment made on time. Every year. No exceptions. Then came August 2022. I drove out to Colorado carrying my grandfather's ashes, planning to scatter them on the ridge he loved. But when I turned off Highway 36 onto the old fire road, I felt my stomach drop so fast I nearly pulled over. The forest was gone. In its place stood 96 Mediterranean-style houses, paved sidewalks, streetlights, fresh sod, freshly painted shutters. Kids were unloading furniture from U-Hauls. A huge stone entrance read, Ridgeline Heights, a Whitmore luxury community. I checked my GPS 4 times, same coordinates, same property lines. But I was looking at a brand new neighborhood built on my land. A guard at the gatehouse stepped out. Residents only, he said. I pulled up the photo of my deed. He snorted. Sure, buddy. And I'm Elon Musk. Before I could argue, a white Range Rover purred beside us. Out stepped a woman dressed like she lived in a catalog. Cassandra Whitmore, mid-50s, Botoxed smile, Rolex that could pay my mortgage for a year, and the kind of confidence that only comes from never hearing the word no. She looked me up and down, work boots, calloused hands, and instantly filed me under people who don't matter. She tilted her head. Sweetie, if you're looking for a construction job, I can get you the number of the foreman. I kept my voice calm. I'm not looking for a job. This is my land. William Flint. Recognize the name? She smirked, pulled out her phone, showed me a title search screenshot. Land was abandoned for 3 years. Adverse possession. Legally ours. We have $16 million in pre-sales. Families move in by Thanksgiving. And if you step foot in this community again, Sheriff Mitchell will be handling you personally. She snapped a photo of my license plate and lowered her sunglasses. People like you don't win against people like us. My hands were shaking by the time I got home. I spread every document my grandfather left me across the kitchen table. Deed from 1971, tax receipts for nearly 5 decades, county records. And that's when it hit me. In her arrogance, Cassandra gave me everything I needed to bury her. Monday morning, I called her attorney. His receptionist cheerfully informed me, Mr. Keir can offer you a $15,000 nuisance settlement if you sign a quitclaim deed. $15,000. For land worth over $4 million, I hung up. I needed a real lawyer. Friends pointed me toward Lydia Chen, a legal bulldog famous for embarrassing a railroad company so badly in court they tried hiring her afterward. She flipped through my tax receipts, inspected the deed, and pushed her glasses up. Colorado requires 18 years for adverse possession, she said, and the squatter must pay taxes. You paid taxes. Their claim, died before it even started. I exhaled. So, we stop construction? She closed her notebook. If we stop construction now, you're fighting 96 families, 3 banks, and the developer. Court fight could drag out for years. She leaned in. But if we let them finish, and then sue, you will legally own 96 completed houses. Fraud, trespass, unjust enrichment. You'll win on every count. The strategy was ruthless, but brilliant. Legal fees? I asked. 40 to 50,000. But Dakota, you're about to become a multi-millionaire. I only had $12,000 to my name, but I signed the retainer anyway, and from that day, I documented everything. Each week, I drove to the edge of the public road and filmed time-stamped videos of construction progress, drone shots, license plates, cement trucks, workers, every piece of evidence. 3 weeks later, Cassandra spotted me. 20 minutes later, a sheriff's SUV rolled in behind me. "Mrs. Whitmore says you're harassing her community," he said. I calmly gave him the parcel number. He sighed. "Look, if she calls again, I'll have to act. Just be careful." By November, families were moving in. Kids on scooters, pizza delivery cars, garage doors opening and closing. A normal neighborhood. Except it wasn't normal. It was all on my land. Right before Thanksgiving, I received a certified letter from Cassandra. "Stop trespassing, or we will sue you." Attached was a photo of my Silverado, circled in red marker. Lydia laughed so hard she had tears in her eyes. "This is perfect," she said. "It proves they knew about the dispute and kept building. Fraud times 10. By December, I was practically a private investigator in county records. I found Whitmore Development LLC was registered in Delaware. Red flag. Funding came from Ridgeline Capital, owned by Cassandra's husband, Preston Whitmore. Preston already had previous fraud and construction defect lawsuits. And then the biggest bomb dropped. They filed an adverse possession claim, but never received judgment before selling all 96 houses that made the entire development illegal. Cassandra escalated again. She filed a fake complaint claiming I was running an illegal dumping site. County code enforcement inspected my property. They found nothing. The inspector pulled me aside and whispered, "Off the record, Whitmore does this in every project. If you need a witness, call me." By Christmas, 84 houses were occupied. Court date, January 12th. Then, on January 4th, Cassandra detonated the nuclear option. She posted my name, photo, and truck on Facebook. "Stalker dangerous, taking pictures of children." The post exploded. 820 shares. The hashtag #Stop Dakota Flint trended. My daughter called me in tears. "Dad, are they going to arrest you?" My boss placed me on paid leave. People at work avoided me in hallways. Lydia filed an emergency restraining order to stop the harassment, but she warned me, "Dakota, this is going to get worse before it gets better." She wasn't wrong. On January 7th, I walked outside and saw my garage door spray-painted with one word: pervert. The morning of January 7th hit like a punch. I opened my garage door, and the words stared back at me in dripping red spray paint. For a long moment, I just stood there, frozen, like someone had cracked my chest open and stamped the word directly onto my heart. I called the police. An officer took photos, scribbled down a report, and muttered the same empty line you hear in every small-town drama. "Looks like targeted harassment. Keep your doors locked." Harassment? This wasn't harassment. This was character assassination. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, thinking about one thing only. Cassandra wasn't just stealing my land. She was trying to destroy my life, my name, my kids' respect. She wanted to turn me into a monster, so no one would believe a word I said. The next morning, Lydia called me into her office. On her desk sat a stack of documents 2 inches high, screenshots, timestamps, witness statements, everything. She tapped the pile with her pen. Dakota, bullies always panic right before they lose. What you're seeing now is fear. And she was right. Monday morning, we went to court for the emergency restraining order. Cassandra walked in, wearing a bright white linen suit, like she was on her way to a summer brunch instead of a legal hearing. Preston followed behind her, overpriced haircut, smug smile, and the confidence of a man who believed money could outrun the law. They didn't look at me, not once. To them, I was invisible. Judge Richardson entered, and the hearing began. Lydia stood, calm as ever. Your Honor, my client has been falsely accused online, publicly defamed, and targeted through coordinated harassment, all intended to intimidate him into surrendering land he legally owns. She handed over the evidence. The Facebook post with 800+ shares, the vandalism photos, the code enforcement reports, every fake complaint Cassandra had fabricated. Judge Richardson turned to Cassandra. Mrs. Whitmore, did you write this post? Cassandra gave a practiced smile. I was simply protecting our community from a stranger photographing children. Lydia rose instantly. Your Honor, here are time-stamped videos showing Mr. Flint never entered the subdivision, not once. He stood on public land, documenting a property dispute the defendants were fully aware of. Judge lifted her hand. That's enough. She turned her attention back to Cassandra. The post is to be removed immediately. A temporary restraining order is granted. You are not to contact Mr. Flint except through legal counsel. For the first time, I watched Cassandra's Botox smile crack. But the real war, the one everything was building toward, was set for January 12th. The ownership hearing. Federal court. This was the day everything collided. The courtroom was packed. Homeowners, reporters, Whitmore staff, bank reps. 96 families sat in silent panic, knowing this ruling could decide where they lived tomorrow. Judge Eleanor Greenwald took her seat. Sharp eyes, zero patience, the kind of judge who could silence a room with a blink. Lydia began. Your Honor, this is a simple case. My client owns 47 acres, deed recorded in 1971. He paid every tax for nearly half a century. The defendants built, marketed, and sold 96 homes on land they never owned. She lifted the original deed, my grandfather's deed, like it was a sword. Cassandra's attorney rose confidently. Your Honor, the land was abandoned. My clients filed for adverse possession. Judge Greenwald leaned forward. Show me your judgment from that claim. A long, terrible silence. The attorney flipped pages like they might magically appear. Your Honor, we filed the claim and Judge Greenwald's voice snapped like a whip. Filing means nothing. Possession isn't granted until a court decides it. And you built an entire subdivision without waiting for that ruling. A gasp rippled through the room. Lydia stood and delivered the knockout line they never saw coming. Your Honor, we have evidence. The defendants knew the land was not abandoned. They received tax confirmations. They contacted county officers. Their title search flagged the Flint deed. They proceeded anyway. Then she revealed the email, the smoking gun, an email from Preston Whitmore to his project manager. Push the houses. The owner never visits. If someone shows up, we'll handle it. Keep investors quiet. The courtroom exploded. Judge Greenwald's voice dropped into something cold and lethal. You knowingly built on land you did not own. That is fraud. Lydia presented the financial breakdown. $16 million in pre-sales, construction timelines, bank transfers, contracts signed on property that didn't legally belong to them. Judge Greenwald delivered the sentence that ended the Whitmores. The court rules in favor of the plaintiff. Mr. Dakota Flint, full ownership of the 47 acres and all 96 completed structures, is restored to him immediately. Someone shouted, "That's impossible." A homeowner began to cry. My heart broke for them. But this wasn't a fight against them. This was a fight against the Whitmores. The judge continued, Whitmore Development and Ridgeline Capital will pay damages for fraud, trespass, unjust enrichment, and attorney fees. The estimated amount exceeds $12 million. Cassandra physically slumped in her chair. Preston turned purple with rage. Then the final blow. I am referring this case to the Colorado Attorney General for criminal review. Game over. The homeowners were terrified, and rightfully so, so Lydia set up a meeting. Dakota, she said, you are not leaving 96 families homeless. We'll fix this. And we did. We created a court-approved settlement plan. Families could repurchase their homes at low cost, or pursue damages from Whitmore in civil court, or choose a lease-to-own plan under fair terms. No one lost their home. Not a single family. Meanwhile, the Whitmores collapsed. Whitmore Development filed bankruptcy. Ridgeline Capital froze. Preston faced criminal investigation. Cassandra's HOA empire crumbled. Their mansion went up for sale. As for me, I got my job back. Neighbors apologized. My daughter hugged me like she never had before. Dad, you didn't just win. You proved you're stronger than them. On my living room wall now hangs the note my grandfather left inside that deed folder. Don't let the bastards take what's yours. And I didn't.
All right, real talk. If you were in my shoes, what would you have said to HOA Karen? Or better yet, how would you deal with her? Drop your revenge ideas down in the comments. I gotta see how y'all would handle this mess.